transforming lives as we love, serve, and remember who we are.
One heart, one mind,
one soul at a time.
Hello and welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. I'm Paula Mandella and this is Soul Light Connection, and we want you to know you're in the right place at the right time. Right, Ann?
That's right, just where you are meant to be. And we want you to sing along with us because we know and you know your soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. Yeah, your soul is welcome. Our soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. Right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. Oh my soul is welcome. Oh my soul is welcome. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Put your hands together. My soul is welcome here. Tell them about it, Larry. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. My soul is welcome here. It is welcome here. My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome
Good morning, and welcome to the Spiritual Life Center experience that we bring to you whenever you might be and wherever you might be on the planet today. We're grateful for your presence as we remind one another we are all interconnected. We are one in the Spirit, and that is the truth. We have people across the planet who view our programs. So each week I acknowledge at least one of the places outside the United States where people tune in to our program. And today I'd like to acknowledge our friends in Vietnam. Thank you for connecting with us, and know that you are blessed and a magnificent blessing to the planet. At this time, we're going to take a few moments to commune with the presence. And we do commune with this presence or this pure spirit in prayer, which is the language of spirit. So we can affirm our realization of that oneness with everyone across our planet, as well as our connection with that spiritual presence. Divine presence, we live and move and have our beingness in you. There is no separation between who and what we are and what this presence is, and we acknowledge that. Our job is just to recognize it and affirm it through the thoughts that we have, the words that we speak, the actions that we take, so that our entire body temple, every cell within us, is vibrating and dancing to the tune of this spiritual presence. And as we do, we begin to radiate this energetic everywhere that we go, transforming the places that we are and all those who cross our path, so they recognize that same presence that is within them. We're grateful to be the vessels, the vehicles, the conduits of the Spirit of the living God, and to do our part to anchor heaven on earth. So it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, we're grateful for you here, being here today, because we're here collectively to do one thing, and that is to help transform lives, and we do so through our mission statement and reinforce it through that statement, which says, we transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we do so through these 5 basic principles which underlie all the teachings of unity. If someone asks you, what does unity stand for? You can say the following: God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action. Each year between January 30th and April 4th, Spiritual Life Center joins spiritual communities around the world, as well as other like-minded organizations and individuals in the season for nonviolence. This event is inspired by the memorial anniversaries of the deaths of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., and thus the dates January 30th and April 4th, where they passed away respectively. The purpose of Season for Nonviolence is to create an awareness of nonviolent principles and practices as a powerful way to heal, to transform, and empower our lives and our communities. And we seek to demonstrate that every person can move the world in the direction of peace through their daily nonviolent choice and action. So each week during the Season for Nonviolence, an individual from Spiritual Life Center does a reading on a principle that supports the purpose of this event. Today our reading is a staff member of our AV team and former Youth of Unity leader and up-and-coming future leader, wherever he may go, Cameron Lawson. Welcome, Cameron.
Today I do the work that is mine to do with a glad heart. Today, as I wake and prepare to go about the work that is mine to do, I take the time to become centered and peaceful. I consecrate and dedicate my thoughts, words, and deeds to you, loving presence. Whatever I do today, I do with gladness. If it is work for an employer, I do it with great care and attention, remembering that I am blessed to have a job and be in service to others. As I cook and clean, I do so with the attitude that I am creating food and a welcoming space for you, my dearest friend. I know the truth that is your presence is in every place and in all people. What I do for other, I do for you. Each loving act of service I give to another is given with a glad heart. Thank you, God, for the work that is mine to do today. So it's kind of interesting. When I got this, Season for Nonviolence reading, I looked at the top of the page and it said March 7th. And wow, that's my birthday. So today is my birthday. It's kind of interesting, though, that it fell on that. So I figured, hey, must be some kind of significance there. Hey, why not? And then I started reading it, and I was reading it, and I started having a little bit of a challenge, almost a challenge relating to what it was saying, which, obviously, you kind of, sometimes you realize as you get deeper into this stuff, maybe there's significance there. If it's a challenge, maybe that's something, it's kind of working at something that you need to work through. And the reason for that is I in general, I like doing things for others and with others, and just generally just helping out. And I'm a really social person. I like to go do stuff with people. But in particular, this last couple weeks or so, I found myself doing a lot of things for others, things that by themselves seem like no big deal, but if you add them up, pretty soon I have full days stacked with just, returning favors or doing just general stuff that I'm realizing it's not my work and it's not something for myself. And I come home exhausted and I still have to do my own things. And I've been realizing the importance of being intentional with what I choose to do with my time and what goes into my day. It's even gotten to the point where I've been feeling like a victim. I felt like others are taking advantage of me. When I take a step back to think about it, I realize, though, that I was choosing to put myself in these positions to begin with. It wasn't, like people ask, hey, is this okay? And I'm like, yeah, sure. While in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I really need to be doing this other thing. This is myself. I'm choosing to do these things. But the thing about that is, once you're in this victim mentality, it starts to create this shroud of negativity. And that isn't really what you want necessarily, is it? I don't think so. So, reading this reading, I've had to remind myself to take a breath. And thinking about it, I realized maybe I should be truly grateful for the life I have in front of me. By taking a breath, maybe I can slow down and move with ease and grace and intention into what I want to do with my life. If I create my own reality and what I put out comes back to me, might I choose to look at my experiences with a positive outlook and to be centered, breathing spirit? Perhaps I can align myself and allow my life to unfold in a spirit-led, harmonious way.
If you are having a birthday, this song goes out to you. We want to wish you a very special SLC happy birthday. So everybody, join in and sing along. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Deborah Phillips, and here's what's happening at SLC. This week, Discovering Spirit Within presents Adventures in Visualizing. Now, this is a follow-up to the episode Revising Your Life that Carol Knight and I discussed a few weeks ago. In this one, we're going to talk about different approaches to visualization, their effectiveness, and then we're going to share some stories about what's worked in our own lives. Discovering Spirit Within premieres each Wednesday on your favorite podcast app. Do you hear the call to serve as a member of the SLC Board of Trustees? Do you want to know more about mission-centric ministry and our evolving model for integral leadership? If so, please join Carolyn Cochran, who is a former SLC board president, today at 1 p.m. for a Zoom info session called Do You Think You Want to Be a Trustee? Learn about mission-centric ministry and the role of the Board of Trustees in our evolving spiritual cooperative. You can register for this gathering at slcworld.org. Our March Community Giving Program recipient is YOLO Healthy Aging Alliance. Martha Mills, Board of Trustees President, is here to introduce them.
Hi, I'm Martha Mills, and I've nominated the YOLO Healthy Aging Alliance as a community partner working with SLC. Because I live in Yolo County in West Sacramento, and I have been exposed to many of their for community forums and advocacy efforts. They work with over 80 community groups in Yolo County to serve rural and urban aging populations. Thank you so much, Yolo Healthy Aging Alliance.
Hi, my name is Sheila Allen. I'm the Executive Director of YOLO Healthy Aging Alliance. We're a nonprofit that serves the seniors of Yolo County, and I am so pleased to be here and thank the Spiritual Life Center for supporting the work that we do. The mission of the YOLO Healthy Aging Alliance is to enhance the well-being of older adults in Yolo County through three things: through education, providing educational information for the community, advocacy, because we are the voice for older adults in Yolo County, and collaboration. We bring together all the different kinds of services for older adults in Yolo County and make sure that we can get you connected to them and that they know about each other so that we can have a better system of care. I am so pleased to be able to tell you about a program that we started with the pandemic. It's called Phone Friends for Seniors. So we connect together volunteers with community members who are isolated. And we have found that our seniors were isolated before the pandemic. They probably will be after the pandemic, but they really were during the pandemic. So the funds that you provide will help to support that particular program. And also, if you would like to volunteer for that program, we take volunteers who then make phone calls to them to decrease that isolation. So if you'd like to be a volunteer, you can go to our website at yolohealthyaging.org and you can sign up there. Or if you know an older adult who is isolated and would like to have somebody to talk to, you can sign people up there also. So during the pandemic, we have found three things that we are addressing. One I've already told you about. That's the isolation of older adults. Also, we find that older adults need better access to food. So we are working with our partners in the community, such as the Food Bank or Meals on Wheels, to make sure that people have access to the food. And third is the digital divide. So we want to make sure that people can have access to the information that they need, because many things like even your doctor's appointments are now electronic. So we're trying to connect older adults to the devices, because you need to have something to talk on, to good and access to internet. And third thing is to make sure they know how to use it, because if you have a tablet or something, you don't know how to use it, it still doesn't work. So we thank you very much for your support of YOLO Healthy Aging, and we are glad to partner on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheila. It is an honor to be a part of your mission. Daylight saving time starts next Sunday, March 14th. This means that the premiere of our Sunday experience will air an hour earlier than you are used to. So get up and get that coffee and tea and then check the clock. And we have an upcoming concert that celebrates St. Patrick. So mark your calendars for Friday, March 19th at 7 p.m. Celtic Crossing, Tunes and Tales of the Gaelic Folk will bring an experience of traditional sounds and instruments of both Irish and Scottish folk music. Our musicians are Catherine Mandella, Lisa Lawson, Michael Lawson, and Clark Smith. And to make this evening even more festive, there will be a Zoom watch party and a Zoom meet and greet with the artists. Register for all three of these on our website. We love to greet our newcomers, and while we cannot greet you in person, we want you to know that we are so very happy that you are with us today as you walk your unique path. You can learn more about us by going to slcworld.org/connect. And when you fill out the online card, you can choose to receive our weekly message, find opportunities for connecting with our prayer chaplains and online small groups. You can also ask to be notified of greater ways to connect with us as we expand our online community. And speaking of connecting, you can find details for all the happenings at SLC by simply going to our website, slcworld.org. Thank you for joining us today. We are honored to be with you in spirit.
Every day we have a choice to choose whatever we want to experience. Love, joy, fear. Today, I'm choosing heaven, and we invite you to choose heaven with us. Please sing along. Here we go. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. You know we got to choose it again. One more time, heaven. I'm choosing heaven today, 'cause I want some more heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I want to choose love. We're going to choose love. Let's choose love. Are you ready? We're all going to choose love. Let's choose some love. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing love today. I definitely choose compassion. I choose compassion today. I choose compassion today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose compassion today. I think joy, we should choose some joy. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing joy today. Which brings us back to heaven. We got to go back to heaven. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm walking. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. One more time. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today.
We believe there is tremendous power in the spoken word. So if it feels comfortable for you, please speak aloud our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory, I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, and the glory. Let this wash over you. We are the light, the love, and the glory. As we move into meditation, allow yourself to relax and let go. We are at ease, breathing into the love that we are, settling into the peace of the moment, opening, expanding our consciousness, connecting with the one presence, the Spirit within. You are the light. You are the love. You are the glory, just as God created you. A beautiful expression of the divine. Breathing into the heart of love, we are filled with peace and compassion, free to explore the depths of our inner landscape, the bright, sunny places that fill us with joy, and the shadowy corners that have lingered, awaiting discovery, to be gently explored and understood. Guide me inward, dear God, so I can look with compassion upon myself for this human journey we are on. At times, soaring free with grace, joy, and ease. And other times, bumbling along, bumping into things and bruising our sensitive ego, challenging our understandings of how things are and how they should be. We are faced with opportunities to stretch, to grow, opportunities to forgive, to open our hearts and see, looking inwards at our own reflection, gazing outwards towards the mirrors before us, recognizing we are all traveling the same roads, seeing the signs of our struggles, aware they are just blessings waiting to unfold. With patience and trust, gently we test the waters. Are they warm and welcoming, or harsh, frail, and cold? What depths are we willing to wade into? Or do we need to rest, waiting patiently on the shore until we are ready to move forward with a willing trust? We honor our path and honor our journey. We are beautiful children of the divine, here to discover and shine in our own glory, in our own time, releasing judgments. Righteousness slips away. Not good enough disappears. We are here to live as God, stepping into the grace of this light. With strength and courage, we look within, celebrating the journey. Our soul is nourished. We are set free. As we move into the silence and look gently with love into the depths of our soul, how will you honor the treasure that lies within? Moving into the tender places of our being, we find the strength to look with love from both sides now and see the grace of the precious being you were called here to be. And so it is. Namaste.
Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air, feathered canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. But now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go. at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way. But now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads. They say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all.
Sheri, a lovely meditation as always. And Anne and Paula, thank you so much for honoring my special request and doing it so beautifully. The past couple of years have been difficult, to say the least, and we all have been pretty serious about things. So today I'm going to tell you a story about a mind-bending discovery that I made, my hilarious reaction to it, and where it all led me. It all starts with a toaster named Liam. My husband likes unusual and retro-looking things, and so a few years ago we went on a search for an interesting-looking toaster. We finally decided on a brand that was made in the UK. And when it arrived, I turned it over and found a little tag on the back that said, "Inspected by Liam." And so we named the toaster Liam. Now, there is a limit to our silliness. We don't refer to the toaster as Liam all the time. We call it the toaster, but inside our heads, we do know its name. Now, this toaster has a cool feature. It has a little dial that lets you set it to toast either 1 or 2 pieces of bread. And when it's set on one, only the left side slot heats up. Now, I have happily been using this toaster for about 3 years. But there was this one day, and I was really distracted, and I just went over and I twisted that knob, and something felt different, but I didn't really key into it. It didn't register. And I was on to the rest of the project while the toast was toasting. When I went over there and it had finished, I pulled out the toast, and to my complete astonishment and shock, the bread was only toasted on one side. And I held up the semi-toast and just stared at it. How did that happen? My brain just completely stopped. Finally, I looked more closely at the toaster, and sure enough, there was a third setting on that dial that I had never, ever noticed. You can set this toaster to intentionally toast a piece of bread on one side only, on purpose. I know, but my brain just completely stopped. I couldn't begin to imagine why you would do that. I looked over at my husband, and he just shrugged his shoulders and went on making his untoasted sandwich. Now, you might imagine it takes a lot to make me speechless, but here I was, and I was astonished to find out how astonished I was. And I couldn't figure out why this new idea stopped me in my tracks. So the first the first step was to find out why. So I sent a text to my nephew who was posted in London. And he wrote back and he just said, well, you toast one side so the bread is warm and the other side will absorb the spread. And I'm thinking, okay, that makes soggy bread, ew. But I went on. Now, I have to admit something. About 2 weeks after this happened, I looked at the toaster and I could see that it actually has a bagel setting. Well, duh. My excuse is that I'm not a big bagel eater, and I'm going to stick with that. But I went down this other path for almost 2 weeks before I figured this out, and the trail I followed was actually worth it. The more I thought about this, the more I laughed at myself, and the more I wondered why I was so completely flummoxed by the idea of one-sided toast. It was time to turn this into a spiritual quest. Bread is basic to our lives. Every culture has some form of bread. In many countries, toast is a symbol of comfort. And well, I guess I thought I knew all there was to know about toast. You put it in the toaster, you push a button, wait, pull it out, and add your favorite topping. Simple. But no, that isn't always the case. There are variations beyond your favorite topping. And for some reason, this revelation nudged a place in my mind. I realized in a very real way that for all I do know, I know next to nothing about other people and how they live and what their views are. For all I know, the people next door have been doing one-sided toast for years. Leonard Cohen is credited with a saying because he used it in a song, but he actually got it from his Buddhist studies. And the saying is, there's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. And that's what started to happen here. If I didn't know about toast, how could I know about anything? I know this may sound silly or drastic, but the incident cracked open my thinking, brought it into a new light because I was acknowledged that I'm pretty clueless. That probably also seems counterintuitive, but if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. The more sure I am of myself, the more sure you are of yourself, the less likely either of us is going to be open to new ideas or other ways of thinking. And we will go about our lives in a very narrow and circumscribed way. I found myself starting to think about how they do toast on the plains of Africa, or in Siberia, or India, or the Polynesian islands. In my mind now, I see people sitting down to what I call toast, making it in their own way. And suddenly, I have a personal relationship with these imagined people. My relationship with the world has taken on a deeper and richer feeling because of this. It's more intimate because I can connect at the basic level of bread, toast. I may never speak your language. I may never visit your country. I may never really understand your culture. But we can share a cosmic toast, if you will. This funny and mind-bending adventure showed me once again that there is so much more to this world than we can ever possibly know or see. That knob with that third setting was on that toaster from day one. It simply never registered because I only thought in terms of one or two slices. I never thought in terms of one or two sides. I was a both sides now person. I still am. But I don't judge the one-siders. It's just the way they are. And I might try it someday. You can go onto the internet and find all sorts of videos that prove that you can only see what you are looking for. There are examples of how your brain fills in what might be missing. There are the ones that show text with no vowels, showing that we can still read and understand the text. And I read somewhere, honestly, that we don't believe what we see what we believe. If I see someone walking down the street in a clown costume, what do I decide about them? Without talking to the person, all I have to go on is my personal belief about clowns, and I will make my decision based on that belief. If I believe that clowns work children's birthday parties, then I will see someone on their way to work. But someone else with a different clown belief system will see something scary or maybe a person with mental challenges. And here's the really interesting part. We can't even see the world as we want it to be. We can only see it as we believe it to be. Changing our thinking means changing our belief first. And I can tell you from experience, this is not as easy as it might seem. We have deep-seated beliefs that were planted when we were very young. I like to think of it as a cosmic pantry. We make our lives from the ingredients that we have stored in that pantry. And when something new comes along, we subconsciously compare it to what we already have in there, what we have in stock. And then we accept it or reject it, depending on how it fits into our recipe. We might reject it outright or decide that we already have something so similar, why try a new one? And others we can't even see because they are so completely different. And this can explain why we often repeat circumstances. Our cosmic pantries have a limited number of ingredients. Now, there's always enough of those ingredients, but there is a limited number of ingredients until we go shopping, so to speak. When we study, meditate, listen, learn, we turn on the light in the pantry and we can see that we have even more to work with than we realized. And thus we improve our personal recipes for our life. The ingredients for mixing up your own cosmic energetic cocktail are so important that you might want to take an occasion to do an inventory. This is especially true when faced with a brand new or foreign idea. For example, you might ask some of these questions. What's in your pantry? How old are the ingredients? Do you like the ingredients that you have? When did you last bring in something new? Have you used any of the new ingredients or do you rely on the old standards? Are your ingredients organic? Are they made from other people's thoughts? Are your ingredients off the rack or are they bespoke? When you incorporate something new into the mix, how does the recipe change and what are the results? What is your mixing bowl made of? Is it made of hate and resentment or hope and creativity? What do you use to stir your mixer? Anger or love? And how do you finish it? Do you cook it, freeze it, let it sit, rest on its own, or do you hold it and nurture it? I'm sure you can add other things to this inventory, and I really encourage you to do that. We are the only ones who can know what we believe, and we are the only ones who can change those beliefs. When we look at it and listen to other people, we can only compare that experience with what is already in our personal pantry. And again, we are not always aware of what that is, but we can take steps to turn on more lights in our cosmic pantry. Sometimes that's uncomfortable. Sometimes it's like when you come out of a dark building and into the sunlight. It takes a moment for your eyes to adjust until you can see clearly. But then it's such a relief to see things in a new light. The whole idea of one-sided toast was like that for me. I was a both sides now kind of person, but I can see the logic, and I relate to the world even more clearly now and in a more intimate way. And it makes me feel so much more connected to psychically eat toast with strangers. We live in challenging times. The stress of a year-long confinement has caused a great many of us to examine our beliefs and question our priorities. And indeed, because of current conditions, priorities have actually changed. We also stand in unique times, at least for us, and this is our opportunity to take that inventory. What do we believe? What is our recipe for life? It is our opportunity to deepen our connection with each other, even though we are separated. In fact, a Zoom meeting is a great way to discover that there is no geography in consciousness. This time is also unequivocally showing us that consciousness is all there is. Whether you call it God, the divine, one source, or simply consciousness, we are all one with it and it with us. And we each add to our own ingredients to it. We shine our own light in our own way. I started out with a premise. When you make toast, you cook both sides. I had a toaster named Liam that had other ideas. I misunderstood the setting, and it set me on a silly path that led me to a deeper, more meaningful comprehension of how interconnected we all are. There were moments when I was really uncomfortable because a very basic belief was challenged. I felt silly and not a little clueless. Yet that journey brought me up into seeing that the entire world is in a new light. It showed me more about myself, how I process my experiences. And finally, it brought me into deeper communion with the divine, because through it all, I become more aware of interconnection and walked out into the light, seeing the world anew. This is not the first time this has happened, and I know it will not be the last time. Opportunities to walk into the light abound, and I am so excited to see what comes next for all of us. Blessings, and may the joys of the world go with you.
Thank you for being part of our service today, in which Reverend Deborah described what it means to go into the light. And she reminded us about opening our minds to infinite possibilities. Next Sunday, our speaker will be Frank Castro Ware. And as you know, he interned here at Spiritual Life Center, and he will soon be a newly minted Unity minister. And his talk title is, "Why is this happening to me?" And he'll address the question of why do seemingly bad things happen to good people. I invite you to remember to join us for a virtual courtyard chat on Zoom at 10:15 Pacific Standard Time. The link to the spiritual courtyard is in the description. So go ahead and meet there, and you have an opportunity to chat with other friends and members of Spiritual Life Center. Right now, this is your opportunity to help SLC continue to provide these spiritual experiences for you or anyone else that tunes in. And it's not just our Sunday experience, but our weekly podcast, our prayer and meditation classes, as well as other transformational experiences that take place during the week. So I invite you to support Spiritual Life Center with your donation or your gift, and give what you can. It makes a tremendous difference and is highly appreciated. You can give by texting SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or go to our website, slcworld.org. You can click the Donate tab to give in other ways, including by mail. And now I invite you to join in our offertory blessing, either aloud or simply energetically. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Cover the distance, love in between.
now, let us join together and say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Spiritual Life Center, transforming lives as we love, serve, and remember who we are.
One heart,
One heart.